Oh, Jesus. That fucking hurt.
And we're live.
That was one fucking ring splitter, I can tell you.
God damn it. We're like 2 seconds in and we've already devolved. What is going on, everyone? I suck at planning things and I have too much shit going on to realize it. And yeah, I'm bad at stuff. I'm sorry. I totally told everyone there wouldn't be a show today. And I'm like, yep, gotta set up the stream, doop doop doo. And now it's just me and Mike.
Never mind.
Yeah, it's all good.
Shit
Uh,
happens. We all fuck up,
but
especially when your name's Nick.
yeah, I figured because I was been working on the overlay a little bit. I updated all the sponsor stuff, and I wanted to show it off. So I'm like, let's do a show.
Fair enough.
So yeah, now we have like a little more stuff going on in the little banner up above us here. See the multi-award winning e-liquid from Shy Tots. We got CC Coils. Thank you to our sponsors, by the way. Speaking of, we have the updated codes and everything. So CC Coils, who needs underpants for 25% off? Might be still a few slots left for 50% off your order. If you are quick and you need some coils, hit them up on the various social medias, Instagram, Discord, and Facebook. Same thing with Jane from Shy Tots. Get your e-liquid, some award-winning, multi-award-winning e-liquid. The new, not new, but the newly awarded winner is the key lime cheesecake.
Okay, which is fucking gorgeous.
Best dessert of 2023 May at Vapor Expo UK.
But
And
my favourite is no, you can't see it. Fucking
Invisible,
my favourite is still this one.
which is the Paradox.
The Paradox.
Yes. And if you use the code What's Your Favorite Cheese, you can get 20% off anything from Shy Tots, including natural skincare, which is her like skincare line, as well as luscious beard oil. I've been using it nonstop, and
Same here.
it's gorgeous. My beard is so soft and smells nice, and yeah. Be honest, I kind of want to get some of her skincare stuff. I could use it. I have this like blackhead that won't go away. I just need a scrub or something. But hey, everyone, how is you guys doing?
Just get yourself some wire wool and get rid of it.
Yeah, okay, Mike. If I want to remove some tattoos, I'll do the same. Let's go into chat here. We got Paul Doling, first one in. We got Norse Vapor as well. We've got Vapor Bunny, our lovely moderator. Bunny! We've got Vaping Pasty. How we doing, Pasty? Puddle Jump 84 with poop emoji. Shrek is here. Morning all, it's warmer than Satan's bumhole today. Jane is eating, but she's here moderating and sponsoring the show. Thank you, Jane. We've got Lee, the evil wizard. How we doing? How we doing, Chewbacca? We've got Steam Pugs as well. How we doing, Steam Pugs? Jenny's here. Jenny's in Designs. And Dire Thing. How is it going? I think that catches us up with everyone in chat. If you want to say something, pop it in there. We've got plenty of time to hang out. And yeah, we're going to be swinging it tonight. Oh, and Andy Summerfield. Good evening, Andy. Welcome back to the UK. Good riddance to you. We didn't want you here anyway. He comes here and he's like complaining about the weather. I'm like, dude, you can't win with you people. You complain when it's cold. You complain when it's hot. Currently, it's at here 28 degrees in the northeast. And, you know.
Currently, it's 23 degrees where I am, but it was 31 earlier.
Oof. Well, yeah, luckily it's cooled down a bit. Non-air conditioned greenhouse. Shrek, you're going to lose another like 200 pounds. just by melting it off, you know.
That's one thing I do not miss about being on the coaches.
Oh yeah, did they not
Driving
have?
coaches without bloody aircon.
Oh, are you serious? Oh my god. Um, Lisa, how we doing, Lisa? And did we get someone else? I don't know. Anyways, um, yeah. So we have a light crew today, obviously, but I wanted to show off the overlay stuff. We'll continue to do some work on it. What's up, CC Coils? CC Coils, you missed all the good shout outs, man. But I updated the overlay. Look at, you got your picture of your coils on there. We got the updated Who Needs Underpants. I hope I spelled it right. I think I did. Anyways, but I did say it was going to be pretty sporadic for summer, and that remains to be true. I do want to go to the beach and go swimming and all that sort of stuff throughout the summer, so there will be times when there's just no shows on. And if there's no shows on, don't be surprised because it's summer and everyone's having barbecues and doing things. So just putting it out there. If there's no show, no show. It's not a big deal. We'll be back, you know. Dude, we've been doing this for how many years now? 4 years ish? Maybe 5? I can't remember.
I think it's 5.
Damn near 5. I think it started just after August when we did the London Vape Show. Like
that was 2017, wasn't it?
Was it? I don't remember, dude. It might have been. But either way, yeah, we've been doing this for a long, long time. Well, it might be coming up to 6 years. But we've been doing this forever, and we've gone away for little bits of time here and there, but we're always coming back. You can't get rid of us. We're like a disease.
We're like a bad smell.
Yeah, we're like, well, some of us are a bad smell.
Well, yeah.
I hope no one else is home, or at least upstairs right now.
No, I'm the only one upstairs at the moment.
Okay, that's probably for the best because you got to get the hazmat team in.
Yeah,
that bog out.
Yeah,
just comes in with power washers and sprays you down.
I swear that one seriously was a fucking U-bend bender.
Straightened it right out. Oh yeah. Oh, I got the dog here as well. Lady. Yeah, she's being a little sad girl because no one else is home, so she's hanging with me.
That's one of them little yappy dogs, isn't it?
Yes, incessantly barking. The second she goes outside, she barks until she gets back inside.
What's she, a Jack Russell?
Mix, yeah, something. There's something else in there too. I have no idea. She's a mutt. You're a mutt. You're cute, so you can stay.
Bleeding ankle biter.
You know, I don't think she's ever bitten anyone, really. She's not aggressive whatsoever. That's good. I mean, we had a dog growing up, a black lab, who was very food territorial.
Oh yeah.
It's a female, and you could not get anywhere near her when she was eating. She would nip at you, like no questions asked. So, and I was a little kid at the time, so of course I like to pet the dog, you know, no matter when I was, you know, she was around. It was like, oh, dog, ooh. Got me real good one time.
Yeah, them Labradors are notorious for trying to eat everything in the home.
Yeah, well, she was a rescue, and I think she was out on the streets for quite a while, and that just makes her even worse when it comes to being territorial and you know, food, you know, sketchy around her food, you know.
Yeah.
But
when I was growing up, we had Finnish Spitz.
What?
It's a dog breed called a Finnish Spitz. It's a dog from Finland that is a hunting dog. It's not spelt S-P-I-T-S.
I'm sorry. I'm a child. A hunting dog? Yes, Mike. I'm listening.
Yeah, it's not one of them ones that does a fucking emu job, spits at you every time you get near to it.
Not what I was thinking, but okay. First you finish, then she spits.
Yeah, but no, literally, the only person that dog bit was my nan. That was
Oh,
because whenever she tried to do whenever she was doing the washing up, he would try and get under her feet, and she'd end up kicking him,
oh,
and so
jeez.
he'd go for her.
Oh, go for the ankles.
Yep.
The dog right after we had, well, see, okay, so the lab we had, she actually did bite a neighbor kid, and we had to put her down. It's
Hmm.
like, yeah. Well, let's put it this way: the neighbor's kid's dad was a cop,
Hmm.
so you don't want to mess around when it comes to aggressive dogs and that kind of thing in the neighborhood because that just starts drama. So unfortunately, I mean, we had to put her down. She was a bad dog, anyways. She was, I don't know. I never really liked that dog. It sounds horrible to say because you think like, oh, good dogs go to heaven and all that, but no, she was just a nasty, mean dog. She always would nip at me and never would really like. She didn't know how to play bite. She would just go full bite force the whole time.
Hmm.
The dog right
Yeah,
after,
that would be because she was a rescue dog, though, and she would have been mistreated beforehand.
yeah. Well, here's the thing: the dog I had right after her was a 180-pound German Shepherd. He was huge.
Hmm.
And we rescued. We adopted him from a family who just had like a newborn kid, and the wife was not happy with having this gigantic dog around because he was aggressive. Now, the guy that owned the dog, he would say we went over the house as a family to like go see the dog before we picked him up,
Hmm.
and he was like, yeah, he can get a little bit uppity sometimes, but if he does anything, you just whack him with a fireplace shovel, and he calms down. It's like, we didn't say anything to him, but we're just like, okay, yeah, that's definitely not leading to more aggressive behavior.
Yeah, quite.
So
How would he feel if someone smacked him with the fire iron?
yeah, exactly. So we got him home. We really got on well with the dog, and we got him home, and instantly just you could sense the relief in the dog,
Hmm.
right? Because he was so happy to be away from that environment, and he was a little food aggressive, but my dad kind of like trained it out of him. He didn't beat him or anything like that. My dad would always just stand over him every time he was eating. He would
Hmm.
just be around the dog, touch his food, and like mess with him when he's eating. And eventually, he stopped even growling when he was
Yeah.
eating. We were able to pet him. We were able to be near him, all that, and he wouldn't really do anything. So, um, kind of getting the learned behavior out was a tricky thing, but it took a little bit of time. But eventually, he was just the nicest, calmest, chillest
Hmm.
dog ever, and is just
That's
so
it.
happy.
A dog is only as good as the owner.
Mm-hmm. Puddle Jumper said, "Leash your kids, damn it." Yeah. Well, that kid was she was a little brat too. She loved messing with the dog, putting her hands near her mouth and everything. But in any case, what happened happened.
Hmm.
And then unfortunately, uh, that was probably my favorite dog or second favorite because when the first dog we ever had when I was a little kid, ever since I have memories, was a golden retriever, and that was the best dog in the world.
Yeah.
Super chill. Um, just loved everything, loved life, loved everyone. Never bit anyone. Never was aggressive at all. And then it was the black lab. Then it was the German Shepherd. Then we got a beagle mix. It was some sort of mutt. My dad
Hmm.
loved that dog, but he was a bit nippy and a bit aggressive. Again, rescue dog. Got him off the streets, was roaming the streets for months before he got picked up, and definitely food aggressive. But he was cute and he had his time, and it was like a mixture of the German Shepherd and the Black Lab, like temperament wise. So like you never know what you're gonna get with a dog. They're all different.
Yeah,
So,
but as long as you're willing to take the time to train the dog, it doesn't matter what the breed is. It's down to the person that owns it and who trains it.
hmm
I mean, it's like all this bullshit about the pit bulls. Over here, the pit bull is an outlawed breed. We're not allowed to own pit bulls in this country. There's
see,
nothing wrong with a breed. They're not an
yeah.
actual aggressive breed of dog.
The problem
They're
is,
no more aggressive than the English Bull Terrier
I,
or the
I,
English Bulldog.
I agree, and I think it's more or less to do with you can't trust the owners of them,
Exactly.
right? So like, just it's blaming the dog for what the owners do to the dog, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you could have a poxy little 2 pound Shih Tzu Chihuahua mix thing
Oh,
and
oh,
train it to be a fighting dog.
Chihuahuas are mean little shits. God, they're mean. They're tiny, but they're mean.
Yeah, I know. Facing little fuckers.
But yeah, no such thing as bad dog, only bad owners.
Yeah,
Or
damn right.
or it could be a situational thing, like I said with the rescue dogs, because they were left out on the streets and they were so territorial about food and their space and all that. Because
Mhm.
like we didn't do anything to mess with the our black lab or anything like that, but she was aggressive because of where she grew up, out on the streets fighting for food and
Mhm.
probably got kicked around plenty when she was out there. So, unfortunately, once a dog is of a certain age, it's hard to really break that behavior. I think the German was only about a year old or so when we got him, and he was already like big. I don't know about 180. He was probably about maybe 150. I don't know, man. He was a big dog. I was a little kid. He was twice my size.
Mhm.
So yeah. But yeah, this one here has separation anxiety.
Right.
So bad that she refuses to move. She'll be here, and the second she hears a car door, she's gonna be running towards the door. But she is like the most passive, like what do you call it? Just like, don't touch me, I'm scared.
Mm.
She's just a little scaredy dog. But she's a good girl. You're talking about me, I know it. Got a Steampunk says I've got a teacup chihuahua. I can confirm that it thinks it's a Doberman on steroids. No one is safe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. That's one of those little bug-eyed things that snarls and then just fucking takes your fingers off, isn't it?
Oh god, they're terrifying. Because they're the size of they're like less than the size of a cat half the time.
Mm.
And they're just "Arr," you know? But what was I gonna say? Caucasian Shepherd? What's a Caucasian Shepherd? We're meant to kill wolves and bears? Jesus Christ. That sounds like a big dog.
The Caucasian Shepherd. They're the blonde-coloured ones.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, we had like ours was like the perfect coloring, black and tan kind of
Yeah.
version. But yeah, buddy of mine has he got a little tiny, tiny, tiny puppy, half breed of a husky and a German Shepherd.
Yep.
That's a wild looking dog.
Hmm.
He's got German colors all on the top coat, and then the
Hmm.
undercoat is husky. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. Now, the one breed of dog I'd love to own, but it would be cruel to own in this country, is the Tibetan Mastiff.
Yeah, you need about like an acre of land for that thing to have a good time.
Yeah, I'm on about the actual climate here would be
Oh
unfair
yeah.
to the
Oh my
dog.
god, that thing. Yeah.
It's the same as people with huskies in this country. I don't agree with that. But don't get me wrong, they are gorgeous fucking dogs, but they're not bred for our climate.
Yeah, for sure. You need like cold weather.
Yeah.
Mountain dogs.
Yeah, I mean, they're dogs that are working dogs in -40 temperatures.
Shrek says most dogs look at me and think, "Fuck, I'm not tackling that."
I don't know, Shrek. They might just see a piece of steak with legs.
Got to meet Italian pointers the other day. They're just amazing. I haven't seen, that's what I was going to say earlier. I was going to say that we don't really, given the climate of today's world, how people are so triggered by things like people will avoid dogs that are big because they think they're aggressive, even though, like they're the calmest, most chill dogs in the world.
Yep.
And it's like, I feel bad for these dogs half the time, especially when it comes to rescue dogs and adopting dogs, because
Yep.
bigger breeds tend to be ignored because they're like, oh well, he's going to be aggressive and but it's definitely not the case.
No.
If you can get a dog and treat it right, then it'll have a good life.
Hmm.
It doesn't have to be aggressive, and you got to know your limits as well. Like
Oh, God, yeah.
obviously, if it's an older dog and it's been defensive about food, it's really tough to break that habit. But like it probably will end up biting you if you try to mess with it when it's eating. But if you get a young enough dog, you can break that habit. But
Hmm.
at the end of the day, it's an animal, and
Yep.
and they've only been domesticated for a few hundred years.
Yep.
So given the
No,
time span, go on,
I think
Mike.
if anything happened to my cats, I'd end up getting a blue staff.
Yeah,
I fucking love blue staffs.
I love I love pit bulls. To be honest with you, pit bulls are
Mhm.
really nice. I mean, and we call them pit bulls, but there's a bunch of different breeds that kind of fall under that
Yeah.
category. There's like the American bulldog, the American bully,
Hmm.
and sweetest dogs ever. My boss has one, and she is so calm, so chill, never has bit
Yep.
anyone. Just the most lovey-dovey dog, sleeps in the bed with them.
Yep.
She gets dressed up in little hoodies and stuff. Like she's just so chill,
Yep.
so
Now,
loving.
you saying that about the American Bulldog being in the same family as the uh, what they call pit bull.
Pit bull, yeah.
In this country, it's illegal to own a pit bull, but you are allowed to own an American Bulldog
It's the same thing.
because in this country they don't class it as the same dog.
Really.
Yeah,
But you guys have the what is it? The long nose one. I forget what they're is it a Staffordshire something? I forget.
Staffordshire Bull Terrier, the staff.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're in the same family.
Hmm. Yeah,
It's
the
it's same with
staffies are
the
legal. You're legally allowed to own the staffies here. The American Bulldogs you're fine with, but if it says pit bull on the paperwork, no.
that's the thing, and over here we have like homeowners associations and stuff like that. And a lot of times they'd say no pit bulls, and you have to get them to fudge the paperwork and say it's an American bulldog.
Hmm.
But it's the nicest dog. If you give it a good upbringing, I've known this dog since it could fit in one hand, right? Tiny little puppy.
Yep.
He brought him to the vape shop every single day and raised it there around people constantly around because like he used to have his friends come to the shop all the time and they have kids and stuff, so it was around kids, it was around people, just constantly used to having a bunch of people around and like gave it the best life possible. And this dog has the most calm demeanor of well,
Hmm.
she gets it when she wants to play. She's strong,
Yeah.
real strong, and like she can play, and like she'll jump around and like she doesn't know how hard her head is, and she'll
Hmm.
like headbutt, and she could break stuff if she headbutts. But that's not aggressive behavior. That's playful behavior,
Yep.
and just so happens to have such a boulder for a head that she doesn't know how hard she can like bump into you.
Yep.
But it's not intentionally being mean or aggressive. It's but the cutest little thing. I don't get it. But like, nowadays you got to be on pins and needles. You have to have little signs attached to your dog's lead that says "Do not pet" or whatever, because it's
Hmm.
like if there's any risk of that dog biting someone, they will sue the shit out of you.
Oh God, yeah. I'm
Uh,
not being funny. Where the country you live in, they'll sue you just for fucking looking at someone the wrong way.
well, that's the thing. It's the plight of the American dog owner these days is you have to be very, very, very careful. And then you have other people that are irresponsible dog owners and they don't put their dog on a lead
Yep.
and they attack your dog. And it's like, well, what the hell? Like, my dog's not aggressive, but if it's attacked, it can be.
Hmm.
God forbid your dog is the winner of the fight, you know?
Yep.
I mean, I know some cats that are rescue cats that can be
Oh, mate, cats are fucking
aggressive.
arseholes. Cats are fucking arseholes.
Yeah, when they have to be.
Yeah, they can be real fucking vicious.
Let's see. Let's read some chat here.
Yeah, that's what I'm just doing.
Eh. CC Coyle says the old English Bulldog bloodline died out about 40 years ago, but there's an American breeder that have rebred the line. Huh. That's the other thing about dogs is the breeders. The
Yep.
breeders can be just as bad as like the breed, if anything, because it's like think about it like pugs, right? The pugs that we know with the real scrunched up faces were never meant to look like that. They were bred to look like that,
Hmm.
and they now are developing health problems. The breed
Yep.
itself has health problems, and it's like, um, Demo. You remember Demo?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's had a quite a few pugs,
Hmm.
and they tend to have problems with their health because of the breed. It's just in their bloodline now. You can't. You'd have to breed it out of them,
Yep.
but it's tricky to do that because dogs with paperwork, purebreds,
Hmm.
can have issues.
Yep.
And I mean, my German Shepherd, big dog breeds, like Great Danes and everything else like that. They tend to have hip problems, and that's what
Hmm.
happened with my dog. Is his hips gave out. My dad had to bring him up and down the stairs, carry him down to go, to the bathroom and everything, and eventually he just couldn't get up, and that was his time, unfortunately.
Hmm.
And you could see the defeat in his eyes, and it
Yep.
still crushes me to this day. The fact that like he still had life left in him, and hip surgery for a dog like that would cost like thousands and thousands of dollars, and it's like we just couldn't do it. It's
Yep.
not in the cards. And there's like dogs that get cancer. This dog lady right here, she had
Hmm.
cancer in her leg. It was like a tumor that she had to get
Yep.
removed. It wasn't like attacking anything else, but at the same time, it's like you got to nip it in the bud before it gets
Yep.
worse. But it's like dog cancer is now a thing, and dog cancer surgery is now a thing, and it costs a few thousand. But this dog, I think she costs, I forget. I don't know what my roommates paid for her, but like probably over $1,000 to get her up here because she was from Georgia, down south, and they shipped her up here. So like, it's not a cheap dog. She's not a purebred or anything, but
Yeah.
wasn't a rescue dog from the area, and you're gonna spend the money on the dog to keep it healthy.
Yep. Damn right.
But she's 9 or 10, I want to say now.
Yeah. So I'm not
Such,
being funny. To some people, your pet is like your child.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's true. I mean, they have personalities, they have feelings, they,
You
you
could say
know,
that.
they
They're living
they're
things.
loyal beings.
Yeah. And Paul Dooling, I've never heard of an S box. What is it?
Did your Xbox just turn on? Is
No,
it
that was
listening?
a Google notification.
Oh, okay. I was like, what? Uh, where's Paul Doling here? What is it? Wait, what is an S box? What?
Yeah, quite. That's what I'm wondering.
I don't know. It's not a tumor. Yeah, it was a tumor. It's gone now.
Let's have a look, see if Google can tell me what an S box is.
Bunny says, my pets are my babies. I might bitch about them at times, but I wouldn't be without them. Yeah. Uh, I bitch about the cat all the time. But essentially, she is my cat because she loves me. She hangs out with me. She always wants to be around me. She's probably outside right now. But she
Yeah.
comes to me for food, even though I'm not the one that feeds her.
You're just a wrong un, Lisa. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Well, hey, everyone's pets are different, Everyone's idea of a pet is different. And if you feel a bond with an eight-legged animal or insect, then by all means. Some people like reptiles and snakes and stuff. Personally, I'm not that into it, but if that's your thing, then by all means. Some people love their fish, and some people have all sorts of crazy pets. I would personally would love some slightly more exotic pets. I want a duck,
Like
just
if I
to
was
get.
going for an exotic pet, I'll only go for something like a horned iguana.
Eh. They need some room though. Unfortunately, they need a pretty big space.
Yeah, that's one. Uh, right.
Gee,
Paul Doling says it's the spirit box. So I'm guessing you mean something like the what do they call it? Ovulus.
that sounds wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would want a fetish duck, Jane. That what it does in its own time is its business. If I ever see my duck come home with bondage gear on, I'd get a little bit worried. Shrek says, "I love fish, especially battered with chips and peas."
Yep.
Yeah, I'm keeping my cod as a pet. Oh,
Yeah, no. Paul, if you're talking about the spirit boxes in ghost hunting equipment, then the Ovulus is the best one to go for a spirit box.
I think I linked the ghost hunting things in Undesirables Discord. So if you guys are curious, then head on over there. Can I do this as a? I wonder if I have the command set up.
The SB7.
Ah, there it is. Hold on, I can check if I linked it actually, because I did find a few UK based sites that had ghost hunting equipment. Where did I put it? The big question. General banter, maybe. Uh, maybe I didn't link it.
Let's have a look.
That was a few weeks ago, so I don't know.
Right, the PSB7 by ITC Research or JP Moss is only £12.38p on eBay. Never used it myself personally, but I would say it could do the job. But on the other hand, at that price point, I'd expect it to be a complete pile of shit.
Oh man. Cool. They have the thing. They have the K2 meter, the exact EMF reader from the game.
Yeah, K2 meter is the most popular one in the paranormal investigation game.
That's so cool. Why do I feel like Sean needs that? There, I put a link to Spirit Shack .co.uk.
Yeah, Spirit Shack in Sheffield. Paul Doolin's just put it in.
Oh, nice one. Yeah. So if you guys want to go ghost hunting in real life, there you go.
I mean, if I was going to take a spirit box on a hunt with me, I would expect to pay around about 150 to £200 for a decent one.
Woo! There's that. There's the Mo dot detector there.
Yeah,
Lisa has a K2 and an SB7 already. Woo!
fair play.
But do you have the haunted mirror? Wow. So Jenny and G, myself and Christian have been playing a little bit and getting better.
Have you tried mirror scrying yet, Nick?
What is it?
Mirror scrying.
No.
Basically, you put a little mirror, like a woman's vanity mirror,
Yeah.
right? Put that on your desk, put a candle in front of it, and then just put a couple of drops of bit of water across the top of the mirror, so it just makes the pane look like it's got water all over it, sort of thing. Yeah, and then make sure obviously the light is out, so the only light you've got in the room is your candle light, and just stare at your own reflection.
That sounds terrifying. Well, no, just because of the reflection, but not what would happen.
I'll guarantee you it will freak the fuck out of you, because your face will change.
Oh no, 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 no. That sounds spooky. Weird shit can happen there. I don't like it.
Mirror scrying's brilliant.
Oh god. All right, everyone's got to try that tonight. That's your homework for the next time we do a show. I've never even done Bloody Mary, to be honest with you.
Oh, I've done that fucking thousands of times. It's a load of shit. It don't work. And Lisa, it was Dave from the Creaky that told me and got me into doing the mirror scrying.
I mean, I just don't like mirrors in the dark to begin with. Ooh.
Yeah. Dave was a friend of mine and Lisa's that owned a witchcraft shop in Stratford upon Avon over here. And unfortunately, he lost his life during COVID.
Ah. At least the only thing ever happened to me in scrying was I got migraines. I mean, I feel like that would happen to most people anyways.
Yeah, the flickering candle does get your eyes at times.
Candlelight in general is weird. I'm telling you, I gotta show you guys my grandma's house. Like next time I go over there, I'm gonna do a few little videos of like the weird rooms and stuff. Ooh, it's freaky.
Yeah, as I say, as regards to the spirit box, I personally wouldn't go for one less than 150 quid.
I mean, it's essentially just a radio that just switches frequencies constantly, right?
It scans the white noise.
That freaks me out too. Hi Gary Hartland, how's it going? Mike would love that house from what I know about it. Yeah. Oh, you'd have a blast. Even though it's only a couple 100 years old.
It don't matter. It's usually not the house that's actually haunted, it's the land.
That I don't know about. It's an interesting plot of land. It overlooks the basin part of like the Connecticut River. So
Okay.
it's on a little bit of an elevation, and if there weren't a bunch of trees there, you could see for miles and miles and miles. But I don't know about the original plot of land,
Hmm.
but I know the current is probably about 2-ish acres.
Nice.
It's decent little plot, and it's got an old barn on it, and the house.
Yeah. There is so much I could do with that land.
Oh yeah, you'd love it. Um, but the house is in original condition. We'll say that's got a lot of the original glass in there.
Hmm.
So that just right there makes it creepy because it's all wavy.
Yeah, yeah,
There is an addition on the back end of the house, which is the safest feeling place in the house, essentially. Is that's the main entrance now. So like you can walk in the back room and you feel nice and warm and safe, even though the rest of the house it feels cold and vacant.
yeah.
It I know obviously my grandparents still live there on their own and everything, but it just feels unoccupied
Yeah, yeah.
by like human presence because so
Yep.
many rooms they don't touch. They go from the kitchen to their bedroom to the back the front room, which is their TV room. And even the TV room, it feels almost as cozy as the back room, but it's still a little off-putting because
Right.
it's like I don't know what that room would be used for back in the day because it's not a parlor per se because they actually have a parlor,
Hmm.
which is weird, but it's the fact that a house has a parlor.
Sorry. Yeah, Paul. Yeah, K2 meter and a spirit box to start with, and I would also get yourself the dots projector.
Yeah.
You can get a cheap one of them. It's just a get them on eBay for about £6. It's just a handheld laser pen, and it's got an attachment that screws on the end, and it just shoots laser dots out every which way it can.
Cool. I want one of those just to have it. Jenny's talking about getting one for her bedroom that like it makes it's supposed to be like a galaxy projector, so it like shines a bunch of stars and stuff on the ceiling.
Yep.
My thought is that's 100% just a dots projector with a fancy name.
Yeah.
God forbid I see anything walk through it. Holy shit. Especially over there. Oh my god, you guys have just thousands of years of history.
Yep.
And but yeah, like at my grandma's house, it's very I don't
Yeah, I've
know.
got one of them as well, Lisa.
So the front door on this house is like a coffin door, or I forget what they call it exactly, but it's like big enough so that people can carry in and out coffins in and out
Yeah, yeah.
because that's how they used to do it back in the day. They used to have
Hmm.
funerals in the home.
Yep.
Then there's the parlor on the right, and then there's the TV room is on the left, and then there's the stairs straight up. So it's
Hmm.
very reminiscent of a home in the UK. Like I've definitely been in people's houses that have a similar layout,
Hmm.
and especially if these a lot of the houses over there have been separated off right at
Yep.
the stairs.
Yep.
So I would imagine that if you remove that wall, it would have almost identical layout because you'd have a room on this side and a room on that side of the stairs.
Hmm.
So it's very similar. Um, but it still has like an old brick fireplace and it's got a Dutch oven and all that, which is still used to this day, even for cooking and all. I mean, there's a modern kitchen as well, but they still cook over the open fire occasionally, which is really cool. And it's Adam's family house. It's not full of like creepy kooky shit, but yeah, pretty much. Very very creaky. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You walk around
Yeah.
any surface in there and it creaks.
Well, it's timber built, isn't
Yeah, and ooh, just feels so
it?
spooky.
What's your favourite stone to use then, Lisa? Mine's bloodstone.
Oh, who would have thought? Paul Doling says, love to try 30 East Drive.
Yep, I will be doing that one soon.
Oh, there are weird mirrors and portraits of people I don't know, but yeah. I don't know where those even came from, to be honest with you. They might have been there in the original house. But they have one of those dome mirrors where if you
Yeah,
look
yeah,
into it, it looks like a fisheye.
yeah, yeah.
Don't know
Was
what that's for, but it's really creepy.
that concave or convex?
Convex.
Convex.
Yeah, convex mirror. So it's like you look into it and you're like a bubble.
Yeah.
But that's just weird. That and there's a painting right above it that's like this guy that looks like an old Civil War general or something. It's just weird looking. Yeah, the room upstairs there. So if you go up the stairs, there's my mom's old bedroom on the right hand side. They call it the 13th room. I don't know why, but they call it the 13th room, and that room is terrifying. I don't know
Okay.
how you would even sleep in there,
What's
but
terrifying about a room?
it's just, well, I mean, the current state of it, it's just big and empty and open, and it's just like it's got high ceilings. So
Okay.
basically, your average room in a house over there. But over
Okay.
here, I'm used to like much lower ceilings, much more like homey feeling. I don't know, and the combination of the wood floor, no carpeting, the old creaky doors, old windows, all that. It's just cold. It's always cold in there.
Hmm.
And okay, yeah, you could say it's on the south side and that it doesn't have double glazed windows or whatever. But it's just it always has this like very cold feeling compared to
Okay.
the rest of the house. And then that's not even the creepiest room because then there's like this open area where they have a pool table upstairs, a billiards table. And just past that, there's a sewing room. And the sewing room is just chock full of fabric and one of those like body things. What do they call them? Like not a mannequin, but like it's just like a fake body that you put garments on when you're like,
Right. Yeah.
pinning them up and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that room, just will not go in, period. Like, nope. Just no. And
Yeah.
every time we got called down for like dinner or whatever, like if we were over there as kids, they'd call us down for dinner, and me and my sister and my cousins and everything would have to like basically run down the back stairs because there's this
Okay.
really narrow staircase, which I would assume is possibly like the servants kind of
Yeah.
stairs,
Yeah.
and we would like run down that staircase and run to the end. And all the doors, they don't have normal handles. They have like latch handles, like old blacksmith,
Mhm.
latches. So we have to like unlatch the door, run and close it behind us, and you're like, okay, if once we're in the kitchen area, we feel like a lot safer. But it's just the real cold back stairs, and the sewing room was terrifying. Mm.
Well, I'll tell you, if I ever went over there, I'd say put me up in the 13th room.
You'd love it. I mean, there is some pretty interesting. The room across from it, which was my when my grandparents were a bit more mobile, that was their bedroom. But now they sleep downstairs for obvious
Mhm.
reasons. But that room is wild. That's such a cool room. It's got like kind of different angles to it. I think it's got like a step down into the master part of the bedroom, and then it's got like a step up into an ensuite
Yeah.
bath,
Yeah.
which is like a really cool room,
Hmm.
but it's still creepy. And there's an attic, of course, Mm. Classic dusty old attic with just a bunch of shit up there. I'd hate to have to clean it out. I'm just glad my grandparents are still kicking, so I don't have to do any of that.
Well, you know for a fact that if I do come over, I'll be bringing a Ouija board.
Oh, they already got one. Yeah, yeah. Me and my sister used it when we were
Cool.
kids. Luckily, it was in the backroom part when we were using it, but we still got movement on it, and it still freaked me the hell out big time. Oh yeah, that thing was answering questions. It was saying dates. Okay, it was like 1873 or something. I'm like, no, 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 no. Yeah. When are we flying Mike out to stay with my grandparents? That's a good question. We had to sleep over there when we were kids and we slept in the parlor. God, I had the sleeping bag all the way up over my head. And I was just like, just fall asleep. Just fall asleep. We'll wake up. Sun will be out. It'll be fine. Like, God, that was rough. There's a dirt floor cellar. It's creepy too. There's a big old boiler.
Mm-hmm. One of the big furnace type boilers.
Yep.
Yep. Type of Freddy Krueger type of boiler.
Yep. It just reminds me a lot of houses over there because they have like radiators and whatnot. Like,
Yeah.
it just hasn't really been modernized whatsoever. Um, Hope he pays his rent. Um,
Hey, I'd love to stay over there.
yeah.
But then saying that, I'd love to stay on Skinwalker Ranch as well.
You're a psychopath, Mike.
Why?
Why? Why would you want to do that?
Why not? For the experience.
Ugh. It's like subjected torture. I don't know. I couldn't. I just. I'll keep my creepy shit in the games. Thank you. Oh, the UK definitely has some paranormal activity going on in it.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh yeah. Even we went over Jenny's mate's house, and she pre-warned me about this. We were briefed in the fact that when you go over there, when you go to use the bathroom, it's upstairs, and you feel like you have to rush up the stairs, like you have to run, because it feels like there's someone right behind you the whole time. And we deducted before I even went over there that it was a childlike presence,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't evil energy. It was
Playful energy.
playful energy. And I said it feels like when you're a kid, when your sister or brother is chasing you up the stairs, because I had an older sister. You know, when you're playing and she's chasing you up the stairs, it feels like you're gonna die. Feels like you have to, like, your emotions are amplified tenfold. So it's like, you feel like if she catches you, you're gonna die, essentially. Even though it's, just silly play stuff. But
Yep.
that's the type of energy that I was getting based off of the information that I had. And then
Fair enough.
we went over there late night during the witching hours, and I had to use the bathroom. And I walked slowly up the stairs, and I'm just like, don't really feel it anymore, because I basically, when I told them that, they were like, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. And ever since that, we've understood the presence that is in our house, we haven't been as scared of it. And ever since we haven't been scared of it, it hasn't been manifesting itself so
Yep.
much.
Yes, Paul Dolling. I've done Highgate Cemetery probably 8 or 9 times.
So, Mike, you must watch us play Phasmo and be like, you guys are wimps.
Yep. Yep.
Is there any like semblance of truth in the game compared to like a real life ghost hunt, like as far as like detecting a type of spirit or anything?
No.
Just okay, so it's just game mechanics then.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
Yeah. I
obviously.
mean, you've got in the game, you get things like the Ouija board. No, you don't in Phasmo, do you?
Yeah, you do. Yep.
Do you?
Yep.
I thought that was in the other one, Demonology.
It's in both. It's in both.
Right. Okay. Well, you've got the Ouija board, yeah. You've got the K2, yeah. You've got the spirit box, yeah. You've got the dots projector, yes. Like those equipments, they are real. But other than that, the actual evidence that you're gathering for the game is just in the game.
True. And I mean, obviously, with ghost hunts, you're not guaranteed to have presents
No,
every time. It's just
no,
in the game, it's just set up for failure, basically.
yeah. And it's
Which
why I have great fun in making everyone jump.
has anything ever made you jump?
There's
Like it,
quite a few things make me jump.
in real life, I mean, when ghost hunting.
Not when ghost hunting, no.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, I'd be shitting myself the whole time.
no, not at all.
I mean, we have limited history here, yes, but the history that we do have is pretty brutal. You know, with the asylums and whatnot. Like asylums back in the day, for anyone that doesn't know, were really horrible places where they would
Mm-hmm.
do human experimentation on people that were mentally deficient.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there was no diagnosis for these people. They were just like, yeah, you're just not fit for regular society, so you're just going to go in here, you know, and we're going to treat you how we're going to treat you. Not
Yep.
only just physical mishandling of the patients, but also just a lack of a diagnosis for these people. You know, some people are paranoid schizophrenic, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, the way they were treated is just like they were dirt. They were just
Yep.
property. They were a nuisance on society. All right, they're home. I know, lady.
Yeah, no, as you say, Paul, it's not the dead you have to worry about.
Yeah, well,
They can freak,
unfortunately,
they can freak you out. They can scare you, but they can't actually hurt you.
I mean, I'm sure there's tons of cases of like heart attacks and stuff though when you're ghost hunting.
And it probably is.
People fainting, people, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it probably is.
you think that there's no way for them to actually hurt you. What about
Not physically, no.
poltergeist? Poltergeist is pretty freaky.
They can move things. Yeah, and
I don't know. What about like driving people insane, you know, like madness?
well, if people get driven to madness like by stuff like that, that's because they themselves are mentally weak.
I agree, and I have a feeling that there would be underlying conditions there.
Yeah.
And it's definitely putting yourself in a precarious position
Mm-hmm.
so that you know you shouldn't be ghost hunting if you're not of sound mental status.
Quite, quite. And I'm not being funny. 99.9% of these people that say about being possessed and shit like that, and they're being um, haunted by a demon and all this kind of shit, it's because they believe the shit that the Catholic Church spouts.
Yeah, yeah. Eh, you don't believe in possession?
Not 100%, no.
um,
I believe you can be influenced,
sure, sure.
but not outright possession.
I'm sure your guys' asylums are pretty out there as well.
Yeah, I've done a couple.
Ooh. And
One of them,
prisons as well.
one of them has been knocked down and turned into a housing estate
Oh, I'm
now.
sure those are definitely not haunted.
And I actually done an overnighter and stayed in one of the padded cells there.
The real trick would be doing it with a straitjacket on.
Yeah, it'd be a bit difficult to get up in the night and go for a piss though.
Well, you had to do it like they did. Just go. uh, but prisons, you guys had some gnarly prisons, and even before prisons, there was like, you know, the castle keeps or whatever you call them.
Yeah, the dungeons.
Dungeons, yeah, that's got to be crazy. If,
Yeah,
have you ever done a dungeon ghost
yeah,
hunt?
yeah, yeah. I've done the dungeons at Warwick Castle, Dudley Castle, Oxford Castle.
No
Uh,
thanks.
there's one at Hever Castle and the Gallows of Justice.
Let's see.
As for jails, the only actual jail that was used as a jail I've done was Bodmin Jail.
There's an asylum over here. I think it was Roosevelt Island, just off New York, like the
Mhm.
coast, uh, where they had asylums and prisons. That's got to be a good one,
Yeah,
if it's even still there.
well, yeah, quite. If it's even still there,
Probably
I mean,
not. I've
I'd
been
love to
there.
go and do that island off of Venice,
Oh,
the one they call Vampire Island.
let's check that one out.
The whole island was set aside as a like an institution for the mentally insane.
Ah, fun.
But they've done archaeological digs over there, and they've found skeletons with supposed fangs and things like that. So it's been now been dubbed Vampire Island.
Oh, lovely. Poveglia Island. Ooh, cool building. Oh wow, there's a lot of skulls. Holy shit. Oh, fun. I'd like to go
Yeah.
down in the catacombs.
Or the catacombs in Paris.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
Yep.
Yeah, that looks pretty creepy.
Yep. Apparently, that island is closed off to the public.
It is, yeah.
But no, I'd love to go and stay there. I'd end up staying a couple of nights, maybe even a week.
Apparently it takes years to get approval.
Yeah. Yes, there are catacombs in Malta as well. Shrek.
Apparently the Ghost Adventures crew were given permission to film there.
Yeah, they were. I've seen the episode.
Oh, I'll have to check that one out. Yeah, that sounds like
I've,
fun. Fun little jaunt.
I've got a funny feeling Most Haunted went there as well at some point.
Oh,
But again, I'd also like to go to Transylvania and do Vlad's Castle,
that's
whatever the
just
name of that is.
I mean that's just a beautiful historical building.
Yeah,
I'd like to go during the day.
I'd stay there at night.
Mike would be doing summoning circles in the basement.
You're not kidding.
Vlad, Vlad, join us. Uh, there's
Yep, they are.
there was a
They
bunch
are.
there was a bunch of islands too that were happening or that were used during the plague there.
Yep. Right, Paul. The thing that is most notorious about Racton ruins is the fact that in the 90s and early noughties, it was used as a teenage suicide hotspot.
God.
It is basically a stone built tower, or the ruins of a stone built tower that a shipping merchant had built so he could go up the top and see his fleet of ships in the docks at Southampton. And yeah, basically any Tom, Dick, and Harry can walk up to it. You've only got to park up at the bottom of the lane and walk up, and you're there. It's on the left hand side at the top of the lane. I've been there, God knows how many fucking times.
It's crazy that they don't lock it off though, given its track
It's on
record.
private land.
Okay, well, still though, you'd think the person that
It,
owns the
it's
land would lock it off.
Yeah, no, it's on private land, but you've got public right of way across the land.
Jeez. Um,
Another decent one to visit in the UK is Waverley Abbey, which is down in Surrey, which is just only about 30 miles away from where I am I love that place. It's a ruined Cistercian monastery.
Fun.
I just find it so peaceful and relaxing there.
Mike's most comfortable among the dead.
Yeah,
Mike, I bet you could sleep in a cemetery.
quite easily. Quite easily.
Oh, it's wild. Just, thing you got to remember, especially over here, is that we had the burial grounds, like
Indian
the
burial grounds.
tribal, yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't even know where they are because they're not marked. They
Yep.
could be anywhere.
They could be anywhere, and the only way you'll notice that you're in one is when you see the wooden scaffolds.
Yeah, then it's too late.
Yep. You just see a wooden scaffold with a skeleton on the top of it.
What about Japan, Mike? Would you ever go into the suicide forest in Japan?
Yeah, without a doubt.
I mean, there you're almost guaranteed to see something, like as far as like physically, like bodies.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, you're guaranteed to see things hanging from the trees.
That's crazy. I can't believe that's still like to this day. Like again, it's open to the public, and anyone can just walk in there. That was the thing that really kicked off the whole YouTube demonetization.
Yep.
Because Jake Paul went in there and
Yep.
filmed dead bodies and shit and laughed about
Yep.
it and idiot.
Paul, there's also a ruined church just outside of Leeds. I can't remember the name of the village though. Not Leeds, Luton. Sorry. The church is called was called St Mary's, and the first time I went there, the thing that greeted me as I walked through the ruined arch of the church was 666 Michael written on the wall.
Hmm. That's a
And
good sign. It's a good omen.
yeah, that church actually got deconsecrated because of the fact that it was being used for satanic worship.
Because of course it would, you know.
Mm-hmm. As for Sherwood Forest being haunted, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think I've ever actually been to Sherwood Forest. You're guaranteed not to see Robin Hood, though. That fucker's dead long time ago.
Or as merry men.
Well, yeah.
I'd love to go on a ghost hunt when I'm over there. When I get over for a good amount of time or permanently, I'll definitely be going.
Yeah, damn right. Damn fucking right.
As long as I have Mike with me, I think I'll be safe. I don't think even demons would mess with that.
Well, it would be me that would be summoning them.
Yeah, but then you'd just let one loose and they'd go right back. You'd be like, nope, we're out of here.
I remember doing one of the castles and doing a summoning circle in the castle.
All right, X1 in chat if you think Mike is nuts. Summoning circle in the castle. It's just asking for trouble.
Well, when you've studied it and you know what you're doing,
I guess. I don't know.
when you've actually studied it, it's not playing with it.
Fricassee Nick after Mike cuts you to shreds, right? Hmm. Yeah, but I mean, if I had my group of people, like my team with me, then I think I'd be all right. But I don't get scared easily, I think. But then again, at the same time, I think about like, staying overnight at my grandparents' house and it's just like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Not alone, especially. Um there was a time that they were on a cruise and I had to go over and take care of their pets.
Mhm.
And there's no light switch on the near side of the dining room. and
Right.
that's where all the food bowls were. So I had to go across the dark dining room to get to the switch.
Okay.
And that right there, because like I'd have to, I'd reach around the corner to like turn the light switches on. So I
Hmm.
enter through the back room, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Get the lights on in there. Then I'd go into the kitchen area and I get the lights on in there, which is like one little tiny dimly lit bulb. It's like a freaking 10-watt bulb or something. And
Yes, still.
then the only thing I would have to do is just make a beeline for the back wall of the dining room and just go right for the switch.
Hmm.
So I'd turn my phone flashlight on and just run across the room and flick the switch.
Yep. Now, one of my friends used to own well, not own, but she used to work in a clothing boutique in Guildford, right, which is a city in Surrey. And it was quite a big shop, considering that it was a medieval built building, right? We got permission from the owner to actually do an overnighter in there. And do you know the only thing that freaked the fuck out of me?
Go on.
The fucking mannequins.
Really? Of all things, mannequins.
Yep.
Jeez.
You
Uh,
think about it. You're in this shop. There's only three people in the shop.
yeah, if one of those mannequins moved, I would be out.
The shop is in darkness. The only light you get is coming in through the windows at the front from the street.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, that light plays tricks with the mannequins, makes them look like they are moving.
No.
Yeah, that did freak the fuck out of me. I've got to admit.
uh, Pasty said, Mike, do you remember the footsteps when we were in Zoom?
Yep.
Can you elaborate for those of us who weren't there?
Basically, in Zoom talking and heard footsteps.
Who heard it? Was it you or was it just both of you?
I, I think it was me heard it and said to Dawn about it.
Yeah. Ooh. It's like there's so you know how like Discord now has a soundboard for anyone that didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a particular sound effect out there that sounds like a knocking on a door or wall.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so realistic. I get fooled by it every time. It just boom, boom, boom. I'm like, whoa, sound it right in my right ear. And the full sound effect has it alternating ears from right to left. And oh my God, every time I get freaked out by that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'll be sitting here late at night, during the witching hours. If I have my door open and the bathroom door is open, it's just pitch black across the hall. And that freaks me out. Just having that amount of open space near me. Because, like, obviously, this room is lit up like a freaking Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, just the darkness, the pitch blackness through the hall freaks me out. Especially if I'm streaming or on camera in Zoom or in Discord.
Yep.
Because I could see it on the screen. I could see the door and everything. And God forbid something moves or crosses that path. And it could be the dog or the cat or anything. It'd still freak me out. The cat has freaked me out on numerous occasions.
Oh dear.
You look into the pitch blackness and all you see is the glowing eyes. You're like, goo, woo.
Mm-hmm.
And then, speaking of, there's a new game out. It's called the Grey Hill Incident, which I'm planning on purchasing and playing. Pretty, if not today, then soon. But it's all about aliens. So
Okay.
it's like an alien invasion, and you have to fight against them, and you actually get to shoot at them because you have guns and stuff. So that sounds like a fun game. A little bit freaky, but fun. So we're gonna experience that one together on stream pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jenny hates the shadows under my door. Yeah, because you can see people walking by.
Yep.
Right now, I can tell there's a dog pressed against it.
Yep.
I don't think the family's home because the dog is now cowering at my girl. Please let me in.
No, yeah, you were saying earlier on in Shrek about Pendle Hill. I've been there. I've done that one.
Yeah. So especially in the evening, because they'll turn the hallway light on, you can see it shining through underneath,
Hmm.
and you can see just feet walking by. It's a bit freaky, but the fear isn't when people are awake and about. It's when no one's awake and about, and you know it. And if something moves or passes
Yep.
that path, that's yeah, that'll get me.
Yep. It's like just that. Not far from Pendle, you've got the ruins of Lancaster Castle. And again, not far away from Lancaster Castle, I can't remember the name of it, but there's this old alleyway passage type thing that goes between houses and shops. And one of the walls that is there is supposedly got a monk bricked up in the wall.
Oh, that's cool. There's a lot of weird human behavior,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, and the monks in I forget where it takes place, but there are monks that are so dedicated to the their beliefs that they will mummify themselves when living.
Yeah, it's Buddhist monks.
Ancient practice where they
Yeah.
have to go on a steady diet of like just a sip of water and like pine needles or something. It's like
Mm-hmm.
pine needle tea essentially, and they do that for like 5 years, and then they slowly just stop eating and stop drinking. And if they
Yep.
could survive for X amount of time without any food or water, and sitting completely still,
Mm-hmm.
then they can essentially mummify themselves while still technically alive.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
fucking wild.
it's yeah, it's definitely the Buddhist monks that do that.
I wouldn't want to meet one.
They're not exactly going to get up and say hello, are they?
I guess like there's one in the hills somewhere in a I don't remember what country, but it's just in a little village. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, there's just the monk, and it's just a mummified monk, and he's just sat there, and just no markings or really anything. It's just the town that has the mummified monk in it, and the kids are just playing right next to it, and they don't care. It's
It's
tourists
probably
will
somewhere in Tibet.
yeah, tourists will pop around, and the kids are like pointing it out, and you just go over, and there's just a corpse out in the open. It's wild, dude. Humans are just crazy little creatures.
Yeah. Well, you
hmm
think back in the day they used to have the Hermitage, didn't they? Which is where a living religious person would have himself bricked up at one end of a church,
It's just wild.
and they would be just bricked up in that room for the rest of their life.
I mean, some people might like that nowadays. That idea.
Mhm.
I mean, give me all my computers and all the internet access, and I'll be good. But if you're talking about cut off from society completely, no internet, no people, no nothing, nah. I'll just lay down and sleep until I just die.
Mhm.
Heard of a place that people dig up dead relatives and have a party with them. Does sound sort of like New Orleans. New Orleans has to move their cemeteries every so often because the water level,
Mhm.
because they're technically under the
Water
sea
table.
level. Yeah, under sea level. So as that moves around, they have to like keep constantly moving their
Yep.
cemeteries, which is why they have above ground mausoleums for all their dead people.
Mhm.
But there are some cultures that will kind of parade around their dead people. I forget which culture it is, but
Mexico is one,
is it
Peru's another.
okay, so on the Day of the Dead, they just party with the dead people. There's also I think it's certain African
What's that? What's the day they have in Mexico?
Dia de los Muertos. It's
Yeah,
Day of
that's
the
the one.
Dead. Yeah. It's what is it? The day before or the day after Halloween, I think. I forget. I can't remember.
Oh, no idea.
So there's also, I think it's an African culture where they will make human mummies, and they basically, when their elders die, they prop them up in a natural position, like dressed in their favorite clothes, doing an activity that they love. Like
Yep.
they love fishing, they'd put a fishing pole in their hand, and that's how the funeral is held, with the person looking like they're still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes on for like days.
Yep.
Like the whole village comes out and sees this person.
Yep.
It's just mind-boggling.
Yeah, and I think it's in Peru. They actually have the festival, and they like dance down the street with the corpses of their um, deceased relatives.
Big party, you know? Hey,
Yeah.
everyone have a good time.
Different cultures do different things.
Yeah. I think it's kind of ridiculous that the Western culture, their rituals and traditions, I think like the whole wake and funeral idea is kind of just a weird thing, especially the Catholics. They really go all out. I don't know. My grandfather is Catholic, and when we had his funeral, it was like a whole to do. Like
Yeah.
I'd never been to a Catholic uh, ceremony like that up until that point, and I'm just like, whoa, it's
Mm.
a bit much.
Yep.
Even
But
just the wake is just strange. Just yeah, let's go in the same room as a dead body and just stare at it for a while. And
yeah, yeah. But then you look at some of the other people. I mean, they get their bodies embalmed and that, and then the funeral is with them sitting in a chair in their finest,
yeah,
just wearing sunglasses.
yeah, yep,
You know, it's different strokes for different folks.
true. And I mean, I'm not one to judge other people's traditions because, like, you know, I don't even I haven't even really put that much thought into it. But I know when I die, I don't want to have my body submerged into the earth. I'd rather be dust in the wind. You know what I mean? I want to
Oh,
be
I'm not being
cremated and
funny.
scattered.
I'm not being funny. I'd be dead. I don't give a flying fuck.
Yeah, but I don't want to take up extra room or have a specific place where someone has to have like a bad memory of me. I'd rather just be, like I said, dust in the wind, and I'm just everywhere, rather than being in one spot. Because like the idea of cemeteries is just odd. This is where the dead people go. There's a
Well,
whole miles and miles and acres and acres of land being used up by dead people.
cemeteries have been around for thousands of years,
Yeah.
and I mean fucking thousands of years.
Okay.
Right? I mean, I'm going back to like Neolithic caveman time. They would have areas in the cave that is set aside to put the dead in.
Yeah, but I mean that just makes sense from a health point of view as well, because you don't want them just laying there next to you and rotting away and having flies and maggots and everything else. You want it separate. Even animals do that, like ants, right? Ants will
Yeah.
have like a burial area for dead ants.
Yeah.
They have a separate little chamber.
Well, not being funny, majority of the animal kingdom will eat the dead.
This is also true. I
I
mean,
mean,
as far
at
as
the
they're
end of
concerned, once it's dead, it's meat.
exactly, exactly. It's just part of the food chain.
I'm glad we don't do that. Well, most of us.
Most of us, yeah. Yeah.
Ah.
I'm really not into eating people.
Some people are. That's another
Yeah.
weird human thing.
Well, to some tribes, it was their way, wasn't it?
Yep.
You used to
But they
boil
did
the
it.
paper. Used to
They,
boil people alive and then eat them.
but they also did it as a form of like revenge. So if like one tribe attacked another tribe and killed them, it was a
Mm-hmm.
sense of like power that you mastered their chief or whatever, the high tribesmen, and they
Uh-huh.
would literally just eat it to gain their power.
Yeah. Now the voodoo boiling Shrek is just the head. They would boil the head and shrink it.
And that's wild too. Jeez. I just find it funny what humans do.
Yeah.
The little quirks. And you know it's like mostly to do with our religious beliefs too. You
Mm-hmm.
know, people that believe that there's an afterlife or whatever believe that they have to do certain things in order to get there. You know, what was the I forget what culture it was, but they put the like coins over the eyes. I forget what culture it was.
Um, oh, fucking hell. That was the coins for the ferryman.
Yeah, to get across the river Styx.
Yeah.
Uh,
What culture was that?
let's see,
Wasn't
coins.
that the ancient Greeks?
I thought it was the Greeks. It could be wrong.
River Styx and that. Yeah, I'm sure that's
Yeah,
Greek.
it's got to be Greek. Yep, Greek. No, and that's just an interesting little part of human culture as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's also there's like a Jewish thing as well where you put like coins on grave sites of Jewish family members and whatnot.
Yep.
And it's the same thing with military members as well. And each
Mm-hmm.
coin means something different as far as
Yep.
like, you know, whether you served in boot camp with them, whether they're your battle buddy,
Mm-hmm.
if they lost their life when you were there, you
Yep.
know, that kind of thing. So each coin means something different. So basically, if you see coins on a gravestone, it's not just free money.
No,
That
that's
means
someone's
something
way
to
of
somebody.
paying respect.
Exactly.
And I mean, other cultures used to put coins in the mouth.
Yep. And other cultures used to wrap their dead in cloth and mummify them. You know,
Yeah.
Egyptians, and
Yep.
they put I think they put onions in their mouth or something. They definitely put like something in the body to like
Yep.
keep
I
away
mean, Christ,
bugs.
in Eastern Europe, at one point they would actually sew the mouth up, sew the eyes up, and then put a sickle over the neck of the body so it couldn't come back as a vampire.
That's wild.
Yep.
Then there were some other cultures that would tie a string to a little bell because they used to bury people so much and like
Well,
especially
that's,
when it
that's that's where the expression "saved by the bell" comes from.
yeah, and they used to bury people when they were still alive by accident. Oh, it's crazy.
Yep. As again, it's just different strokes for different folks.
Yeah,
I mean, to be honest, the Catholic religion they had some fucked up ways in the past. I mean, they had the sect that was called Opus Dei,
mhm,
which believed in self torture.
yeah,
You know, only through pain could you become a martyr.
that's wild too. Like you put nails in like a flogger and you just whack yourself
Yep.
till you bleed. That's just wild. uh, speaking of, Lee says one day would love to visit Dime and Vinny's grave. I don't know if anyone knows about who Gigi Allen was, but he was a degenerate punk rock guy and would do horrible things on stage. And he actually died at a party sitting up. He had sunglasses on. He was just chilling on the couch, and he died of an overdose, I believe. Just sitting on a couch, and one of his requests was that people go to his grave and piss on it.
Okay.
So people will make a pilgrimage to his gravesite to piss on his grave.
Suppose it's one way of watering the flowers.
I just think that's kind of curious, just because it's like it's in his eyes it would be a sign of respect, and to everyone else in the world that's like a sign of disrespect. But he looks at it like he wants people to do
I wonder if that's the sort of thing Bear Grylls would want.
it. He's just got a funnel on his grave. He'll just have a funnel on his grave. That's crazy.
I don't know. I'll get back into the paranormal game again at some point.
Yeah. I think, Mike, you should lead tours. Shit. Sounds like that's right up your alley.
Mm.
You'd love it.
I love all things paranormal.
You got to get into like there's got to be like troops of people, right? Like there's just groups that go out and
Trouble
go on
is,
things.
the groups in the paranormal game are so fucking clicky and bitchy. They're worse than the groups of the vaping game.
I'd put it on parallel at the very least, because like with any culture or subculture, there's gonna be clickiness to certain groups. Like,
No, believe me, in the paranormal investigation game, they are proper bitchy.
well, here's the thing: you start your own. Then problem is, feel like you would need a plot of land that was known to be haunted.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to like actually go out and purchase the land, and then start doing tours there, and then kind of go off of that. And then when you start making money from it, then you can go off and do like buy more property or something else. But like you could probably make a fair bit of coin doing that. I mean, how much are the tours for an overnight stay? Is like what, 150 quid or
Well,
something?
they to do an overnight investigation starting from about 8:30, 9 o'clock in the evening, and finishing around about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. You're talking 75 quid normally per person.
That's not even that bad. But just to think of it, like all you're doing is letting people come to your house and just
Mm,
getting paid for it.
yeah,
And like you could even offer up like a little bit more of a guided kind of thing where you're the one leading. You're like, okay, I'll supply all the equipment for you. That'll be 150.
mate, I'd be supplying proper lessons in it.
You're like, okay, everyone, hold hands. We're gonna do a summoning circle.
What
I can
happens,
see that.
happens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just got to get some money together and buy up a piece of property somewhere. I mean, shit. Given the history of the UK and that area, especially around yours, there's got to be tons of places that have stuff going on.
Mm,
That's why, like, whenever we talk about this sort of thing, a lot of people in chat chime in with like personal experiences or places around them that are haunted and all this stuff because it's like around here it's kind of few and far between. There's a lot of like ghost stories and old wives' tales, and it's like, yeah, I probably live in one of the richest parts of American history, which is
mm,
like the Northeast, being pretty much the birthplace of the country,
mm-hmm.
minus like what was the settlement long like a way long time ago before there was like down in Virginia, I think, or something around there. There
Talking
wasn't.
about Roanoke.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, that's got some history too,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah, I was
uh,
reading something the other day actually about an archaeological dig going on over there at the moment. They think they've actually found Roanoke.
no kidding. That's
No,
wild. That's cool. But it's well, the same is true with like a lot of places because if you go for a walk in the woods, even by mine, like a couple miles from here, you could just walk into the woods and find cellar holes,
oh yeah,
tons
yeah.
of them, walls, all sorts of stuff, just out in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, one place I'd love to go is Oak Island.
Ooh, what's Oak Island? Let's find out.
Oak Island, that's where the treasure hunters go. where
Hmm.
they're still digging for the Templar treasure. It's
Oh,
up in
in Nova
Nova
Scotia.
Scotia.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Yeah.
I'd love to go there because there's stories about people seeing shit on that island as well.
Oh, I'm sure with like any place that has that kind of thing, like same is true with like the old west, you know, like the old gold rush mining towns and whatnot. Um, you know, with the ferocity of people trying to find gold, you know, there was lots of murders and all sorts
Oh
of
god,
stuff
yeah.
happening there. And back in
God.
those days, it was basically martial law. So,
Mhm.
you know, you killed someone, they're not going to prosecute you or anything. I mean, they'd have to probably kill you first, wanted dead or alive, and all that.
Yep. And no, that's not a cue for anyone to break into Bon Jovi.
Puddle Jibber says, "Release the brothel ghosts."
I think they're called succubies.
Oh, Shrek says, "My local pub used to be the Crown Court. They even had a body cellar that they don't use. Well, I'm glad they don't use it."
Yeah, there's quite a lot of the old pubs over here where the courthouses were.
Well, that's the thing about pubs that like people from the U.S. don't realize that being if you're not a Anglophile, people don't realize that the pub is like the center point of a village or a town. It's like the
Mm.
pub used to be the meeting house. The pub used to be a place where you go and eat and gather. It could be used as like a church.
Yep,
It's everything. So
yep.
it could be a courthouse. You know, it could be a place of justice.
Yep.
Nowadays, it's just used to get pissed up.
Paul, is that the amphitheatre that's just down the road from Fishbourne?
Place
You
where
got
I work is
you
supposed to
got
be.
two Roman buildings down there. You've got Fishbourne, which is the Roman palace, and I can't remember the name of the other one, which is slightly up the hill. That's the one that's got the bathhouse that's got the what the mosaic floor of Medusa.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, the actual bathtub that they built into the floor has got a picture of Medusa's head in it.
Oh, fun.
Can't remember the name of that one.
Yeah. I don't think I've worked anywhere that's haunted.
Yeah, no, the one at Fishbourne is actually a Roman palace, not a Roman villa.
Oh.
The what they've got actually uncovered of the building is only about, I think I said about 3% of
Hmm.
what's actually under the ground. The rest of it goes underneath the car park and underneath the housing estate that's there.
Gotcha, gotcha. It's the thing. Like over here, especially, we don't value our own history like I guess you guys do. Because over here, we just tear it down, build something over top of it. I talked about
Mhm.
the asylum that was torn down, turned into a car park. It's sad because a lot of people would want to keep that history, but
Mhm.
at the same time, it's like we have to do it in the name of progress and you know moving on. And we have to get over our past and you know build anew.
Mhm. Yep.
So
Now,
like,
another place down here that's got a lot of history is an area called Dorset.
hmm,
That goes back to like Iron Age and that, with the hill forts and things like that. We got a village called Dorset. Well, I suppose it's actually, to me, it's a village, but to them down there, it's more like a city.
hmm,
But they've got a Roman amphitheatre. They've got the Maiden Castle, which was an Iron Age hill fort. Uh, the whole town is littered with medieval buildings. It's a fucking gorgeous little town, though.
That's the thing. We build new places all the time, but our roads are still based on the old like paths of like horse-drawn carriage and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So like you could definitely tell, especially around here, how our road system was back in the day because guaranteed, I mean even the names of the roads are named after like physical locations like my town is famous for the Morgan horse
yeah.
and we have a road called Morgan Road
Hmm.
and it's like you could tell that these were there's certain old buildings along those routes where you can tell that road kind of went from this place to that place to this place to that place. And then we just built alongside of everything.
Yeah,
Yeah, our our roads are still worse than old Roman roads. Roman roads are great compared to ours.
yep,
We can't keep ours intact for more than 10 years.
yep. And quite often in England, where you see the roadworks, the roadmen doing the roadworks, they dig through the tarmac, and then you see the old Roman cobbled stones coming up as well.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I mean, one of the most famous ones for that is what they call the Fosse Way over here. That's renowned for little bits of the Roman road coming up out of nowhere.
Thousands of years old and it's still
Yep,
just there underneath surviving.
yep.
And our tarmac doesn't last 10 years.
Yep. But again, even Oak Island, they found ruins that date back to the Roman period.
Wild. Now the Romans conquered like most of the known world before the Anglo-Saxon kind of British Empire did, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So there's going to be Roman influence underneath everything.
Oh God, yeah, God, yeah. I mean, the best preserved Roman ruins we've got in here are the Roman baths at Bath.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking a Roman bathhouse that's like 2,500 years old, and it's still operated by the natural spring and heated by the earth as well.
See, again, you got to give it to the humans for using what's around you,
Yeah,
natural life sustaining, things that are around you, i.e.
yep,
water sources. I mean, the every single society from the dawn of time has been established near a water source.
yep. Again, what was it? The ancient Greeks and again the Romans. They had the women that were like the soothsayers, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
And they had temples built for them, but all the temples were built on fault lines. So when they would go into a trance, they would be using the gases from the fault line to make them high
Yeah.
and to give them the visions.
So cool.
Yeah,
That's like,
yeah. Sulfur, Shrek,
we
sulfur.
we talk about you know, mythical things, right? Like the city of Atlantis. And I'm
Yep,
like, there's been weirder shit out there.
yep.
We have an entire city buried under a volcanic ash,
Hmm.
compressed for thousands of years, and it's now being unearthed and shown
Well, you got
off.
two, ain't you?
Yeah,
You got two. You got
Pompeii.
Herculaneum and Pompeii.
Yeah, my sister's been to Pompeii. She's like,
Hmm.
it's just weird. There's just mummified, essentially, people just laying there.
Yeah, yeah. It's literally just the volcanic ash has settled around what was the body
Yep,
and turned to stone.
yep. And like we've unearthed it. There's
Mhm.
temples from the Aztecs that
Yep.
all you see is like a little bit of it, but if you dug it out, then it's massive.
Hmm.
I mean, look at the pyramids in Egypt.
Hmm.
Those stones are huge,
Yep.
like 200-ton stones or something, and it's like Well, if you believe it, humans
Hmm.
built it. Some
Yep.
people would say otherwise, but then you got the complexity of the insides as well of
Yep.
the pyramids. I think the pyramid itself is not the amazing thing. It's what's inside them because there's architecture and everything from thousands of years ago,
Hmm.
and it's all based on the pharaohs and them worshiping their gods and everything, and
Yep.
their grave sites. It's a temple as much as it is a you know uh, like a death chamber sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
what am I trying to say here? Not a catacomb, but like mausoleum.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. Well, they're still finding stuff in the Great Pyramids, aren't they?
Oh yeah,
Still finding hidden rooms.
hidden rooms, and like not only that, but there's stuff that's got to be sealed off. They're using like X-ray technology and stuff
Hmm.
to see through some of the big stones and whatnot.
Yep.
And there's stuff that we probably couldn't even get to if we tried,
Hmm.
because you can't get machinery inside of those things. So
Yep. I mean, it's like in the actual Great Pyramid, there's a shaft that's built right in the floor, and no one knows how deep that shaft goes.
I'm not willing to find out.
No.
you know, but it's just wild. Rex says Japan can build a full motorway in a week. The UK can't build a roundabout in 2 years.
Hmm.
it's
Yeah,
it,
but what the Japanese build for a road in a week? Would you want to trust it?
they're efficient. I don't know. I mean, I've seen. Have you seen the time lapse? I forget whether it was China or Japan, but there was like a sinkhole inside of a city, and there's like a time lapse video of them doing it overnight, filling in the sinkhole, fixing the pipe,
Hmm.
and building the road back over top of it
Yep.
overnight. It was ready
Hmm.
to go by like rush hour.
Yep. I know. And that was a big old sinkhole as well.
Yeah, it took up an entire like half a city block or so.
Hmm.
Huge. Paul Dolig says alien technology. That's the rumor, you know. Shrek says we can't get to the bottom of the Pacific Ocean.
No, you're true.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's ever got to the bottom of the Marianas Trench.
Jenny says there's a weird thing in Liverpool. Shops up Bold Street have cellars. They go down a long way, and there's a point where all electronics stop working.
Okay.
Ooh, interesting. Puddle Jumper
I,
says we know nothing, and I tend to agree. Of all the things that we know in this universe and in this world, I believe we don't know a fraction of a percent of it. You know,
I know when Chris had his shop, he wanted me to go up there and do an investigation in the shop because he used to get weird shit going on.
like the dead zones. It's like the places in the forest where you can't hear any animals or anything. It's
Hmm.
dead silent. And animals are a bit more in tune with the world than we are, so there's got to be a reason for it. Jenny says
Yep.
the basement in Empire, yeah. But I mean, there's been those types of situations where people have bought buildings, like old buildings, and they like are cleaning it out or whatever, and then they just find one of those like just massive shafts that go down for miles, and just it's just there. There's just a board over it or something.
Yep.
That's creepy as hell. Who built it and why?
No one will ever know.
Jenny says you'd be sat on the sofa and all of a sudden trapdoor underneath tried to open. Oh. Nope, 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 nope. Or the safe in the back would start knocking. Oh
Yep.
god. Too bad for whoever occupies that space now. It's crazy.
Yep. As I say, he wanted me to go up there and do an investigation, but he told me under no circumstances can I bring a Ouija board.
You're like, oh, come on.
Exactly. He's like, Nope, because all you'd see is me running the opposite way.
Oh, all right. Well, we've been on for 2 hours, Mike. I can't believe we did a 2 hour show.
Yep. Yes, Jenny, I do remember that about that shop with the Ouija board that got embedded in the wall.
Okay. Nope. 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 Nope.
There was
Nope.
a
Nope.
cult shop over the road from Chris's shop, and the bloke had a back room where he used to use the Ouija board. And in that back room, this particular Ouija board, one morning he came in, was actually embedded in the wall of that room.
No. Mm-mm. I'd close up and never come back. Sell all the stock to whoever wants to own it next.
I did ask Chris if he could get hold of the board for me.
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, the bloke that ran the occult shop, he didn't know what he was doing, and he was fucking about with stuff he didn't understand. Pretty much a fucking idiot, really.
Well, one last thing before we go is you've heard of Annabelle, right?
Yep.
Um, well, how do you think that's real?
No.
There's a bunch of situations like that, possessed items.
Mm-hmm.
Think it's all bollocks.
Is it possessed or cursed items?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's a load of bollocks. I don't get me wrong. I believe that a spirit could be attached to an object that that person owned in life. That could be possible.
I mean, according to rumors, it's all you know, they move on their own and they blink or make noise or
Yeah,
like,
that's a crock of shit.
there's a lot of videos out there that are faked as well.
Yeah,
God, I occasionally will peruse YouTubes of its creepy horror content, and there's just so much fake stuff out there, and these lame little horror channels will like put it off as it's like real. It's like TikTok compilations of people being like scared or whatever, and it's like watch as the chair in the room moves without anyone touching it. It's like there's no way there could be fishing line tied to it and someone's yanking it off the screen.
exactly.
I just think it's all bollocks and
Yeah,
stupid. Ah, I want to believe that it could be real, but at the same time, it's like, okay. For instance, I told you last time we talked about like spooky stuff about the Chinese checkers board.
hmm
That could have been someone messing with the rest of us and just acting scared. I don't know, but it did freak me out. I'm not gonna
I'm not
lie.
doubting that. I'm not doubting that. But then the power of suggestion is a very strong power to have.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I fully would say that it's within the capacity of the people I was staying with that they would intentionally try to do something like that because
Mhm.
there was like six of us in that house. There was uh three girls, was the two sisters and their friend, and then two of their boyfriends were living in the house as well. I was living in the outhouse part of like the separated carriage house part.
Yeah, yeah.
So like there was enough of us there to where someone could have been messing with the rest of us and not saying anything and just acting like it was real.
Yep.
But
I
it's when
mean,
you're in the moment, and it's kind of like the same thing with the sewing room in my grandma's house. It's like I know nothing's gonna happen, but it
yep.
still freaks me the hell out.
I mean, put it this way: when I go on an investigation, if I get anything that is deemed paranormal activity, I will always try and scientifically debunk it before I say it is paranormal activity.
Yeah.
Right? I hear something in an old building. I will go and I will find where the noise is coming from. I will see whether it could be the building itself expanding or retracting with the temperature differences.
Mhm.
It could be the central heating pipes clunking. You know,
Mhm.
old buildings, they make all kinds of fucking noise.
Yeah.
You've got to come from it from a scientific point of view before you say outright it's paranormal activity. That's why you will find 99.9% of actual paranormal activity is what they call the EVP, which is the electronic voice phenomenon, aka the spirit box.
Mhm.
That is where 99% of the actual paranormal proof comes from.
But that it's hard to be like that reliable on that because it's like supposedly white noise and frequencies that don't have anything on it and all
Mhm.
that, but it's like you never know if some amateur radio broadcaster it's just
Exactly.
picking up something, it's interference. There's
Exactly.
so much
Yep.
like radioactivity and all that going on. We live in a society where there's just electricity everywhere and there's radios everywhere. There's communications in all different
Mhm.
frequencies
Yep.
everywhere, flying
Yep.
through us at all times. If this was 200 years ago and we lived by candlelight or whatever,
Mhm.
then it would be a lot. If you had a tool like that,
Yep.
I would feel like it's way more reliable. But in this day and
Yep.
age, it's hard to even use a tool like that
Mhm.
to definitively say that there's activity going on.
Yep.
I
I mean, yes, I do use the spirit box, but I also use the digital dictaphones,
come again.
like the digital voice recorders,
Okay.
right? That way, if you're just using the digital voice recorder and all it's picking up is your voice, but then you get like another voice come through, and you know that there's no one else around. There's no radio frequencies that can pick up.
All right. Last thing, Mike, have you ever seen visual evidence of paranormal activity?
I'd like to say yes, but I can't 100% say yes for certain.
Do you think orbs are within reality?
Orbs can be within reality, but again, you need to debunk it first.
All the orbs I've seen on video can usually be pretty easily explained away.
Yes, 99.9% of them are bits of dust floating on the air, or you get a bug, a little beetle or something catching the light, and people, oh, it's an orb. It's like, no, it fucking ain't. That thing's alive, you cunt.
Yeah. Ooh, it just landed on me. Ooh, it's stinging me.
Yeah, quite.
Yeah.
Yeah, orbs could be real. Again, they could be down to atmospherics because you can have certain atmospheric situations that causes a small ball of light.
Yeah. I mean, ball lightning is a thing, even though it's a very
Exactly.
rare phenomenon.
Yeah.
And like Shrek said, he said, "I've seen a ghost. It was when I was a kid, though." And kids are not only easily manipulated to believe certain things, but also they're hypersensitive to stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it could be
But
a case.
I will also say it again. There is a difference between a ghost and a spirit. A spirit is a thinking entity. A ghost is like watching a video,
Okay, I gotcha.
right? Say, for argument's sake, you're walking down the road and you see, for argument's sake, you see a Roman centurion,
Sure.
right? But you only see him from the knees up,
Hmm.
right? People think automatically, oh, that's a spirit. No, it's not. That's a fucking ghost. It's standing on its own ground level from its time.
Mm-hmm.
It's the atmosphere playing like a videotape of what happened in history. It's just energy. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's known as the stone tape theory.
Okay.
It's like other people talk about seeing people walk through walls. Yeah. Like in old
Mm-hmm.
castles and things like that. That would be because in the lifetime of the thing that you're seeing, it did it so many times during its life, it's left an imprint. And that would have been a doorway in its time.
Yeah. Puddle Jumper says freezing temps, biometric pressure shift, red eyes in the dark. What do I have, Mike?
Personally, I'd say you're about to throw a whitey.
I, I have definitely felt energies in rooms.
Yeah.
I've definitely felt cold spots in houses.
Yep.
I've felt pressure shifts, how I describe the back room in my grandparents' house. It feels like almost in comparison, someone's giving you a hug rather than someone's trying to strangle you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it feels comforting in a way compared
Yep.
to the rest of the house, which feels open and lonely and cold and empty. Even if there's a ton of people in there, even if you're in just a one room away from the rest of my family,
Mm-hmm.
it could feel very empty and just eerie.
Yep. All right. Do you believe in deja vu?
Yes, 100%.
Right. I've I've said it before, but I've had it when I did the Galleries of Justice in Nottingham.
Ooh.
Right. It's an old courthouse with an ancient prison in the caves underneath.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I walked through the front door of the courthouse, I knew exactly where I was and where I was going throughout the entire building, including the caves underground.
So in your mind, you feel like you are maybe
I'd
living in
already
already
been,
been there. Yeah.
yeah,
Like this is your second version of life and you know, in your previous life you were someone who had worked there. Well, I hope worked there and not was
could have been worked there,
imprisoned.
could have been imprisoned there. I've got
Well,
no idea,
did it
but
feel did it feel
I
comfortable or did it feel scary?
it freaks me out, but it wasn't scary.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I even knew my way to where the oubliette was.
Well, if it's one of those things where it's like you know the where the prisoners would normally know and not the staff, then
Mhm.
then that was it. If you knew where the staff worked and all that, then that would probably be the more likely situation.
Yeah, I mean, the oubliette was basically a hole in the ground where they used to throw people to forget.
Ooh, that's not a good sign, Mike.
I mean, the word oubliette is actually French for to forget.
Jesus Christ. Well, so yeah, Lisa says previous Mike was a naughty Mike.
Not a lot's changed.
Oh my god. I fucking love this show, man. Ridiculous. Once again, a whole episode of, well, 3/4 of an episode about ghost hunting and
Mm-hmm.
such. And pets.
I ain't got a problem talking about it. It's one of my passions.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame you. I want to see you do something with it, to be honest.
I'd love to be able to, believe me.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, we can go over to Grizz and Moe's stream and harass them.
Yeah, I'll be popping over there. Make them shit themselves again in a minute.
Would like to give a big shout out to our sponsors, CC Coils. Don't forget, who needs underpants for 25% off your entire order. Possibly even up to 50% off if he's got a couple of those codes left. Hit him up on Instagram, Discord, or Facebook. We also have our lovely sponsor, Shy Tots E-Liquid, the multi-award winning E-Liquid, and also skincare naturally. Wait, damn it, I messed it up again. Natural skincare, that's the one. It's on the screen, I should know.
Yeah,
Um,
natural skincare,
yes, Natural Skincare, home of some amazing beard oils and other stuff for all your beautifying needs.
and there's some more.
And use the code What's Your Favorite Cheese for 20% off everything except the Misfits line, which of course 20% goes to charity. Hit her up as well on Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Can't forget Wired Talk with Big G or One Man Stands. He's the one responsible for the music in the intro and the outro of this show. Big shout out to G. Please, guys, go check out his full length album and his channel.
Looking
It
awesome.
is it's linked in the picture up there. It's I think it's just Wired Talk with Big G, or what is it nowadays? One Man Stands Music. I can't
One man
remember.
stands.
Yeah, okay. But he is also planning on starting to do live streams as well, so that's going to be cool.
Oh,
Yeah, when that
oh,
happens,
that's been a long time coming.
yep, when that happens, I'll be sure to let everyone know, because he's going to be doing some stuff on Twitch with live music making and that kind of thing. So that
Right.
should be really cool. Go on, give him a follow, and show him some love. But that's going to be it for the show for today, guys. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of a miscommunication. I thought I was going to have something going on this weekend. Um, like I said, though, Sundays in the summer are going to be a bit sporadic. You know, uh, some people have stuff going on. Jay had a barbecue today, and I totally failed to mention the fact that my plans got canceled. I've been working. I was covering for Sam. He was out this weekend, so I've been working a lot, and a lot's been on my mind. So there's that. But otherwise, stay tuned. I'll try to make it a point, if there is no show, to do a thing that says there's no show, at the very least in Discord. Um, but yeah, otherwise, just stick around, be around on Sundays. Maybe there's a show, maybe there's not. Uh, we'll be sure to talk about more spooky stuff and
Yep.
other random things.
Yep. And Paul, if you've got more questions, hit me up on the Undesirables Discord, or you can always add me on Facebook. My name is Michael Collins. You can't miss it. My profile picture, I think, is either a Thor's hammer or a Baphomet pentagram. It's one or the other.
It's always going to be one or the other.
Yeah.
Nice one. But yeah, fun show, good show. Mike, thank you for stopping by and having a chat with us.
No problem. It's been a blast, mate.
Of course. Anything to say on the way out the door?
Bye.
Classic Mike. All right. See you guys over on Mo and or Sean's streams in a bit. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
And don't forget his flaps.
Thank you.